to tell you this tonight. He's too gentle to allow us to carry things that he wants to remove. And he's too generous to allow us to settle for less than he wants to give. Israel ran out of food and their fear kicked in. And just like you and me, when their fear kicked in, their memory of what God had done kicked off. And they started complaining to Moses and Aaron. They said this, "Oh, that we had died by the hand of the Lord in the land of Egypt, when we sat by the pots of meat and when we ate bread to the full, for you have brought us out into this wilderness to kill this whole assembly with hunger." And there's so much we could say about that, but if we said it, we'd be hypocritical because we said it. Right? Like we feel the same way they do, so we stand in judgment. It just makes us feel better about ourselves. But the scriptures are actually trying to show us who God is, so we'll understand who we are as well. So how does God respond? Instead of what we think about what they said, how did God respond? God simply said to them very clearly. As we talked about last week, he was gentle and generous. All he said was this, "Behold, I will rain bread from heaven for you." They complained and God promised. They feared and God provided. They forgot and God reminded. He knew what their hearts needed. Guys, don't ever be afraid to say what you really feel to God. Number one, he knows it already. But number two, there's a lot of things that can't get changed until they get spoken. There's a lot of things that until we let it out, there's nothing that he can do about it. Not that he can't, but he won't, because he's working in us and he's working for us. And so tell God the truth of your heart, even if you're afraid of the truth of your heart. Share what he's saying. Even when they complained, what did he do? "I'm going to deal with it. I'm going to work in you. He deals with us. And you may be like Job, and you may get told, "Be quiet, let me tell you what I've got to say." But in the end, what happens? I know him like I never knew him before, and I am changed in ways I'd never been changed before. We have to learn to tell God the truth of our hearts, because he knows what our hearts need. But let's not forget, God wasn't simply, in all of this, in them getting hungry and God providing bread, God wasn't responding to their hunger. As Deuteronomy 8:3 tells us, God had caused, he had created and allowed them to get hungry because he wanted to give them more than they were willing to settle for. All they wanted was enough food for the journey. God said, "That is not enough. That is not what I want you to have. There is something more, but I can't give you the more until you give me the less, and most of us will never let go of the less." So he says, "I'm going to have to remove the less so that you can have the more."